the three things I would really share is, number one, if you're starting out now, just at the very, very early stages of your career, your first priority should be learning. Make sure that you learn as much as possible, as fast as possible, and make this a priority above everything else. Sometimes when we're graduating, we're getting multiple offers from companies, and we say, okay, who's paying me the most? Who's giving me the best title? Which company has the best reputation? And look, all of these things are important and proxies to something. But I would basically ask the question, hey, where am I going to learn the most, right? Which group of people can I work with that's going to make sure that I, learn faster than anyone else on the planet? Because this is the time to be learning. And the more you learn, the more successful you will be long term. But if you start optimizing for other things already at this early stage, then you will not make the investments that you need to be making today in your career that will actually pay dividends over time. And there was one very interesting thing I heard. Just like there's a concept of money compounds. If you put money in a bank, that money compounds over time, interest compounds. And this person was saying something very similarly for learning as well. The things that you learn when you are 22 or 23 years old, that learning also compounds. It's not the same thing as learning that same thing when you're 32. Because by the time you're 32, if you learn that thing at 22, you are so much more mature on that topic. You're so much more advanced in that learning than someone that is learning so late. So there is a concept of compounding that works in learning in the same way it works in money. So my first advice would be, forget everything else. These are all less important things. Focus on learning. And make sure that, which is my second advice, make sure that you work hard. And different people will tell you different things about this concept of working hard. But at least my belief is that, in the early stages of your life, surround yourselves with people, surround yourselves in an environment which are inspiring and that make you work hard. If your boss is making you work 16 hours a day, that's fantastic. Because if you're working on the right things, you're learning faster than others. If someone is only working 8 hours a day and someone is working 16 hours a day, then just by pure math, you're learning twice as them and instead of having 2 years to learn something, you learn the same thing in 1 year. So make sure that you focus on learning, make sure that you are not hesitant to work hard. This is the time to work hard and make sure that you learn fast and build that work ethic, build that resilience that's going to be extremely valuable in life going forward. And my last sort of advice is similar to what I did a little bit early in my life. The confidence wasn't there. If I had not graduated in 1999 in the Silicon Valley, I don't know if I would have built that ambition to achieve something big in life. And frankly, all of you, I'm sure, who are listening are extremely capable of achieving anything that anyone else in the world is capable of. But a lot of times we are limited by our ability to think and act big. So make sure that your thinking and your ambition doesn't shortchange you. Make sure that you're shooting for the moon and then making all efforts to get to the moon. And if you don't shoot for the moon, you're not going to get to the moon. But let's just make sure that your ambition level is super, super high in an uncomfortable way. So learn, work hard, and shoot for the moon.